Morning, it's Francis. Today will be my updated video for this Edison trench that we're doing. We'll be going over a bit more details now that we have a trench and a pipe laid out and everything. So just walking through, showing you some experiences or maybe just filling up some curiosity. So yeah, most of my projects, due to the size of the project, we have to do something called underground. So essentially we have to underground from across the street, as our power lines are located across the street, you see. So we're actually going to put a new pole right here there, and we're going to underground. We actually already dug into the building over here, well, into to our property line. So sometimes you can do something known as an overhang, which is when buildings receive their power over the, like that one over there, overhang. But due to code nowadays and future proofing for electric cars and everything, it requires more electricity, so it has to be underground. So now we're inside. So this is under the trench plate, so you can see there. It comes in this way, and due to the fact that also the buildings that we have require a little bit more power, we have to put a transformer on the site, which it's going to be sitting here, so main line's coming up right here, goes up to a transformer, and then gets fed down these 3 separate lines that each of them feed a separate building. So there's one that's going to go on that wall there, there's one that's going to go at the end of that building, and now there's another one that goes way to the back. But as you can see, it's a 4-inch pipe, pretty deep. We have to give it a foot of clearance from any other utility. That's a water line. I believe that's for it's a fire line, if I'm not mistaken. And then over there, we'll be able to see a gas line and a sewer line. So this is a fire line as well. This is an electrical line. This just sends for fire alarms and everything, and then that's a sewer over there. No, actually that's a SoCal gas line right there. One of these trenches is actually pretty long, as you can see right here. It goes all the way to the back over there, and then even has a bend way back there. So one of the other things that we do is known as a mandrel test, which essentially pull a rope. You put a rope through the pipe, and then you're going to pull this metal cylinder through it and everything, and it's to verify that the pipe, that you're going to be able to run the wire, that there's nothing that's going to obstruct or the pipe collapse. Normally you would do this at the end of the inspection, but you want to do this right now, because if there's anything wrong with the pipe now, you can at least you can address it, whereas afterwards you're going to have to dig up and figure out where it's at, so it's much easier to do now. And as long as you backfill correctly and everything, the pipe shouldn't collapse or anything like that. So depending on the size of the pipe and the type of pipe, because there's at least the ones that we use here are ABS 40 and ABS 80, depending on that. It depends on the type of the mandrel you need because of the diameter inside. So I'll show you a quick video of that.
Quieres deja caer el mecate arriba nomás, que no se enrede, y porque lo vamos a jalar para atrás, güey. Vamos a dejar el mecate adentro, el que ya está. Ahorita vamos a jalarle, y luego lo jalo para atrás, y el mecate que ahí se queda.
So he's going to pull the mandrel away from over there, and then we'll put the mandrel that fits just the right size, and then that's it. Essentially pull it in all the way, and it's just to verify that the pipe works, it won't get stuck during inspection. Also, for those that some people ask, the reason these pipes are this way is because once we put back the dirt and everything, we can dig this out, cut these pipes, and you can put a handhole in there, which essentially is just like this what would you call it, a vault of some sort, so you can reach and pull the wire, because Edison, I believe, if I'm not mistaken off the top of my head, they only do 100 feet runs, and so you had to put one, you know, a handhole every 100 foot. So you come up, right, and then you gotta pull the wire and then cut back down, and then up and down. Yeah.
Sácalo, nomás, sácalo. Oye, ya llegó ahí a la orilla. Cuando está con el inspector, lo tienes que sacar hasta arriba para que lo mire, güey. Así, y luego ya lo metes otra vez para adentro.
Alright, so I went through the other side. Now we're just gonna pull it back this way and most likely leave it. Actually, depending, I don't think we have extra mandrels on this side, so we might have to take it out. But we'll leave the rope inside already, ready for it to go. And that's a mandrel test. Here we are at the band, just to show some of the utility lines. Here are a bunch of gas lines and the sewer lines that we're going through. So essentially we're just waiting for our inspection once that's done over there. So one of the last things we'll talk about is inspections. So the first inspection that you have on the field is called a pre-construction meeting. So essentially you meet up with your inspector, you go over the game plan, you walk the side, you coordinate, you can set up benchmarks and everything. Sometimes some things in the plans you can't execute accordingly and have to make some changes, and there are some changes that it's up to the inspector's discretion. For example, on our job site there were some backflows where it called for the transformer, so we had to move it 5 feet. And small changes, it's the inspector can do it, but if you're asking too many big changes, like you want to relocate the panel, for example, and it's going to change the length of the run, sometimes it may affect the calculations of it, you know, and that may cause you to go back into plan check, and then might hold you up for a couple more months, you know. And then after that, you have your first inspection, which is our next inspection, which is they're going to change the depth of the trench. We're also putting 1 inch of shading, is what they call it, essentially a sand on the bottom of the trench. We need about 1 inch, and then we're also going to be showing the pipe and measuring the distance from one utility to the other, having an 18-inch clearance as it requires. Edison doesn't like to have their utilities too close, and I think it's actually you know, it's called might be a different distance depending from one utility to another, you know, but in our trench, at least with Edison's, 18 inches. And yeah, so I guess after this, that's pretty much it for today. Hopefully you found some of this information useful or filled some of your curiosity or you learned something. So anyways, this is so nice. See you next time.